I'm well. I have to tell you a little bit about me. I was administrator for the Division of Youth Corrections. I worked in youth corrections for 30 years. After I got out, I finally retired. Did some political kind of things. I was involved in some political campaigns. At one point, I went to work for the Colorado Criminal Justice Reform Coalition, and I was their coalition. Well, actually, before I went to work for them, I was on the board. I was the board president for a while, and then I decided there was a job opening for coalition coordinator. And because of the things that I've done in the community, whether it's political or other kind of things that I've done, it was kind of easy for me to make some connections. And so part of my job is connecting Second Chance Center in Hassan to the connections that I have. That's the most important thing that I've done. Uh, we were talking today about what role I should have, and he calls me his mentor, and I try to help him find out where the alligators are, and how do they avoid the alligators. I guess that's the best way I describe it.
Avoid the
And just
alligators.
trying to navigate him through the system. There's two sides of the system. There's the side that he went through, and then there's the side I was on about how decisions were made, and the internal and political decisions that get made. And so kind of get them to understand, and how do you navigate through that? Because I think as an organization, they're so outstanding that they ought to be getting a lot more resources and funding and all kind of things. And so how do you try to help them get that? How do you introduce them to people and make them aware of who they are and what they are and what the great work that they're doing?
What was the first time you?
I met Hassan. I was out. It was at a presentation. There's a college professor at our church at Park Hill United Methodist Church, and she does African American different things. And she was inviting. It was an ongoing lecture series, and one of the lectures, he was there with a group of people, and they all had degrees, and they were all kind of had titles. And Hassan was sitting at the end of the table, it was a long table, and he said, "I'm not sure why I'm here or where do you belong," and having a background in criminal justice, and if hearing people talk over the years, I knew he was special. There's things he said, there was things he said and how he said it, and his level of openness, and that kind of struck me, that he kind of understood where he is, admitted where he'd been, and could talk about that. Oftentimes you don't find that. A lot of times people want to kind of glamorize, either they want to glamorize what they've done, or they want to, I'm not sure what word to use, but they kind of gloss over it, and he didn't do either. He's very much in some.
How much of Hassan's presence and that quality of character do you see in the organization here, and how does that work in its favor?
Well, I see a lot of it here. Somebody was asking me about that recently, and because they're all ex-offenders, there's a certain stereotyping that goes along with that. And one of the things that impressed me about them is their level of integrity and their honesty. And I think that's extremely important, that you have that. That they are who they say they are all the time. And that's such a, I think the people who are clients get that. I think the way they operate is very much into a part of that, and makes them authentic and open. They could establish trust immediately almost. I sit there and I watch people come in and out sometime, and just watching their reaction to it, and just understanding how many people come in their office self-referred. I heard about this place, and they come in there and they're accepted.
Does it make this unique, given that
Oh, I
openness?
think it's very unique. I think it's very unique. Number one is that they're all ex-offenders. Like I said, there's that they all have a level of experience that makes them authentic. But it's also that whole humanity that all of them have. That's that humanness that they have, and the greeting that you get, and it's real, and I guess that's the best way to describe it. That it's not something put on. It's like, yeah, we're glad to meet you, and no. And one of the things that they were doing there was a radio broadcast last week on Colorado Matters, and one of the clients, Kevin, was talking, and he was talking about how he was giving up, and how Hassan said to him, I don't ever want to hear you say that again, that you're here with us and we got you. And it is that sort of feeling that we got you back, you can count on us. And so if you don't give up on yourself, we're not going to give up on you.